Welcome everyone to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we are setting the stage for a real masterclass on advanced English grammatical structures. If you're a focused learner looking to elevate your language skills to that highly coveted C1 level, well, you are exactly where you need to be. Today, we're going to completely untangle the often misunderstood world of prepositional phrases. We're going to break them down, see exactly how they operate, and learn how to use them with total precision.
Okay, let's dive right into our five-part agenda for today. We're starting with the blueprint of a phrase. Then we'll look at grammar chameleons and explore the 8 flavors of prepositional phrases. After that, we'll tackle structure versus function. And finally, we'll wrap up with mastering C1 level nuances.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the blueprint of a phrase, building from the ground up.
Okay, look, advanced grammar can definitely feel a bit intimidating, right? But honestly, let's just treat it like a simple math formula to take the pressure off. At its very core, a prepositional phrase absolutely must start with a preposition, and it has to end with an object, which is usually a noun, a pronoun, or a noun phrase. The whole point here is to establish a relationship between that object and another element in your sentence. Just think about the simple phrases we use every single day, like in the room or with my friends. You've got your prepositions starting things off and your object bringing it to a close. Pretty simple, right?
Now let's take that basic formula and expand it to create something a bit more descriptive. Instead of just saying under bridges, we can say under the old wooden bridge. Notice the steps here. Step 1 is our preposition, under. Step 2 is a determiner, the. Step 3, we layer in some adjectives like old and wooden just to give it some texture. And finally, step 4 is our object head noun, bridge. The underlying structure remains exactly the same, but the descriptive power, that is a massive upgrade. Moving right along to Section 2, grammar chameleons. Are they adjectives or adverbs? I actually love calling these phrases grammar chameleons because they literally disguise themselves based on what they're modifying in a sentence. Take a look at this first one. The girl with long hair is my cousin. Here, with long hair modifies the noun girl. It's wearing an adjective disguise to answer a very specific question. Which girl? Oh, the one with long hair. Now compare that to she waited at the station. In this case, at the station modifies the verb waited. It answers the question where. It's the exact same structural formula, but wearing 2 entirely different disguises. That brings us to Section 3, the 8 flavors of prepositional phrases where we categorize the context. Now, what's really interesting here is how efficiently we can organize all these phrases into 8 functional categories. This helps us see their incredible variety without turning this into a dry lecture. You're probably already familiar with place, time, and direction, but pay close attention to how a single, simple word like with changes its flavor completely. Under the manner category, a phrase like with confidence shows how something happens. But drop down to accompaniment, and with my family shows who is accompanying someone. The exact same preposition delivers a completely different meaning, depending entirely on its object. All right, on to Section 4, structure versus function. This addresses probably the most common grammar question advanced learners have. Seriously, if you take only one single thing away from this whole explainer, make it this: the difference between structure and function. Let's look at the phrase under the table. Structurally, because it begins with a preposition and ends with a noun object, it is a prepositional phrase. Its anatomy never, ever changes. But functionally, well, if we say, the cat slept under the table, probably completely ignoring that expensive bed you just bought it, right? The phrase modifies the verb slept. It tells us where the cat slept. So functionally, it acts as an adverbial phrase of place. It's structurally a prepositional phrase, but functionally, it's mimicking an adverb. To really hammer this concept home, let's contrast our structural prepositional phrase with an actual genuine adjective phrase. First up, the man with a beard smiled. The head word driving this whole phrase is the preposition with. Now compare that to the man proud of his son smiled. Structurally, this second one is an adjective phrase because the driving word, the head word, is the adjective proud. Truly recognizing this distinction between head words is the ultimate hallmark of C1 level syntax mastery. And finally, Section 5, mastering C1 level nuances, where we'll troubleshoot some common mistakes. So let's see how all this builds into real-world advanced applications. Because at the C1 level, we aren't just saying after lunch anymore. We're writing things like a unanimous decision after careful discussion. We start using compound prepositions to add really complex layers, like accepted despite considerable opposition, or expressing means with high-level vocabulary, like expanded through strategic partnerships. At this level, these phrases are your absolute best tools for injecting deep, sophisticated nuance right into your sentences.
But, with advanced usage always comes the risk of subtle errors. A very common mistake, and I mean even for highly proficient speakers, is writing "she arrived to the airport." Structurally, sure, it looks perfectly fine, but idiomatically, it's completely incorrect. It absolutely must be "she arrived at the airport," because in English, we use arrive at for specific places or buildings.
Here are two more incredibly frequent pairing errors that trip up so many people. You literally cannot say something depends of something else. It always depends on. And you aren't interested on science, you are interested in science. I know memorizing these tiny structural details can be super frustrating, but honestly, correcting these specific prepositional pairings is a total game changer. It will immediately make you sound vastly more fluent and precise.
All right, focused learners, it is practice time. Let's apply that basic structural formula we talked about earlier. Listen closely to this sentence. The children played in the park. I'll give you a second. Can you isolate the prepositional phrase?
And the answer is, of course, in the park. Fantastic job if you nailed that. Notice how it perfectly follows our blueprint. The preposition in flawlessly connects to the determiner the and the object noun park. Meanwhile, functionally, it modifies the verb play to tell us exactly where the action happened. It is the math formula executed flawlessly in language.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, provocative question to ponder. Are you ready to use these grammatical chameleons to transform your writing from basic to beautifully complex? Because by mastering the difference between structure and function and truly understanding how to deploy these phrases to modify and expand your ideas, you hold the key to truly sophisticated C1 level English. I want you to start looking for these phrases in everything you read. Notice their disguises, and most importantly, start building them into your own sentences. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and I will catch you on the next explainer.